Hi guys, this is Pete and welcome to another episode of PC Repair for Dummies. Now, this is not really an episode about PC repair so much as that I get asked a lot what sort of cameras I use for my YouTube videos, and I have addressed this a couple of times, I guess, but recently I seem to be getting asked this question once again. So I'm going to talk about a few of my cameras that I use today. Now, the main camera that I use for shooting YouTube videos is a flip Mino, which is what I'm shooting this on right now. But we're going to get talking about that directly. Unfortunately, I'm using it now, so I can't show you it. But guys, what's happening is that there's a lot of you guys out there who want to get into YouTube videos, you want to join the partnership program, you want to start making some money, you want to start putting up videos, and it's a bit of a minefield out there as to what sort of cameras that you should use. Now, just let me tell you this straight up. In my opinion, it's a waste of time putting up videos on YouTube that are any higher quality than 720p. Now, 720p is the basic high definition widescreen format. And honestly, for YouTube videos, that's all you need. Now, a lot of people put high quality, high definition videos up on YouTube, and at the end of the day, this is just my opinion, it's a waste of time. They put up videos that shoot 1280p, whatever, and you know, realistically, the file size is 3 times as large, it takes 3 times as long to upload. But more importantly, if someone's trying to watch your video and they have a bit of a dodgy internet connection, it takes 3 times as long to download and watch it. So I reckon that 720p is a pretty good average. It still gives you good quality. If someone blows your video up to full screen, it still gives you good quality. And at the end of the day, gang, 720p is pretty much DVD quality, alright? So, alright, let's talk about the cameras. So, for those of you that are just starting out, I would recommend that you just buy yourselves a digital camera that shoots video. So you want something that shoots reasonable quality video. Now this is my favourite. I've spoken about this camera before, and I used to use this camera a lot. I don't anymore because I use the flip that's recording right now. But this is a little Casio XLM. Now this is an EX277, this camera. The thing I like about it is it's got a great view screen on the back here. Very, very simple to use. Very, very easy. Now this camera shoots 720 high definition video. Now I've got a 4 gig SD card in this camera, and that will give me around about 45 minutes of video, which is plenty. The other good thing about these little cameras is that the audio quality is sensational. It's very, very good. So they're quite simple to use. These cameras will cost you, well, this one's only a 7.2 megapixel camera. I've had this one for over 3 years, and when I bought this camera it was about 250 bucks. But you can buy 12 megapixel XLM Casios now for around about $150 that are every bit as good as this one. But these are a great little camera, and for the average punter that just wants to take a few photos, shoot a bit of video for YouTube, these things are great. I'd highly recommend this. Very, very, very good value. Now, these have a lithium-ion battery. Now, that's something else that you need to remember when you're buying a camera, gang. If you buy a cheap camera that takes AA batteries, it will drive you insane. Even if you're using rechargeable batteries. Cameras are very, very heavy on batteries, and I've got to tell you, unless you're carrying a couple of spare AA alkalines, and you have to use alkalines in them, if you use the cheap AA batteries that you buy at the cheapie shop, they'll last about 20 photos. And that's if you're not using the flash, and they'll last about 5 minutes of video. You need to run ever-ready Energizers or Duracells, and the cost of batteries can become incredible. So you need to buy a camera that has a lithium-ion rechargeable battery in it, and this one does. Now, some of you guys might remember I had a few dramas with the battery in this camera. It died after 11 months, and they have a 12-month warranty on the battery. But in that 11 months, I probably shot 300 or 400 YouTube videos on this camera. So, and there's a place in Melbourne, if you're an Aussie, that sells these batteries online for these things for under 20 bucks. But anyway, at the end of the day, you'll get about 40 or 45 minutes of video footage on a single charge on these. Right? The downside of these is that you have to take the battery out, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. The battery and the SD card go in there, and you actually have to take the battery out of these to charge them. They come with a little charger. I personally prefer a camera that you can just plug straight in, either to power or to your USB port on your computer. But having said that, they're still a very good little camera. Righto, now let's have a look at a little bit of footage that I shot today on this camera. There you go again, see the quality of that's pretty good. And bear in mind you can buy these cameras now for under 150 bucks, and that's not bad quality video. Righto, I want to have a talk to you about this little gadget here. This is an Audio Sonic, a digital video camera. Alright. Now this is a little cheapy. Now I very rarely use this, but I keep it as a backup camera. These cameras are very, very cheap, and I'm going to talk to you about that shortly. The upside with these cameras is that they take still photos up to 8 megapixel quality. They shoot video in 720p widescreen. You can also set them to shoot 640 by 480, which is the old square format. They're not a bad little camera as a backup. I would also highly recommend these for anyone that is starting off on YouTube. If you're looking for a little cheap camera to start shooting YouTube videos, these are pretty good. Now, the audio quality on them is not real good, but they've got a couple of little whiz-bang features that I like. Firstly, they've got some LED lights in the front there for nighttime shooting. If you're in a party in a dark room and you want to, shoot people's faces and things like that. They also have a myriad of different quality settings for both photos and videos. But for the price of these cameras, you can actually manually adjust the white balance. You can just do all sorts of groovy things with them. They also have a pretty good 8x digital zoom, which is great for getting in and dirty, up close and personal. Now, gang, probably one of the nicest things about these is that they have a reversible screen like that, and the video automatically flips upside down when you turn the screen over. So if you've got that on a tripod and you're shooting a vlog, you can see yourself. But just remember not to make the same mistake that a lot of people do. They look in here instead of in here, because when you're shooting a video you should be looking straight down the barrel of the camera so that YouTubers know that you're talking to them. But that's a pretty good feature that's not available on most cheap cameras. Right, so that's an Audio Sonic. Now, they don't come with any internal memory, so you have to put an SD card in them. Once again, this camera's got a 4 gig SD card in that cost me $12, and that gives me around about 48 minutes of high definition shooting and around about an hour and 30 minutes of 640 by 480. Now, a lithium ion rechargeable battery in this camera. And guys, you are not going to believe what this camera cost me. They also have HDMI out if you want to plug it into your widescreen TV. I bought this camera online a little while back, and I paid less than $50 for this camera on eBay. Now, the good thing about these little Audio Sonics, is that Kmart here in Australia, if you're from Oz, Kmart are now stocking these cameras and they are selling them for $59. Now that's including the USB charger, the AV cables, and all that sort of thing. Doesn't include the SD card. Guys, honestly, you cannot beat these as a first YouTube camera. $59. I mean, for God's sake. Now the quality of the video is not all that good, and to give you an idea, let's have a look at some footage that I shot today on this camera. So Dana, what did you order today, bud?
Steak, chips and salad.
Steak, chips and salad. Is that a T-bone?
Yes.
Now this is another one of our famous $2 steaks that we go out for on a Sunday occasionally, isn't it beautiful? $2 steak, but then it's $1 for chips, isn't it? $1.50 for salad, and $1 for sauce. Is that right? So they end up costing us $4.50. Beautiful. So guys, this is a little audio sonic camera, and I'm sure that you have to agree, for a $59 video camera, the quality's not too bad, hey? Not too bad, what do you reckon? Not bad for a $59 camera, guys, what do you reckon? Alright, so now we're going to talk about my favourite camera, which is the one that I'm talking to right now, the Flip Mino. So obviously to talk about that, I'm going to have to change cameras, and I'm going to do that right now. So this is my favourite camera for making YouTube videos, and this is the Flip Mino. The Flip Mino high definition. Now this camera will actually shoot up to 1280p, but I always convert my videos to 720 for uploading them to YouTube, just to reduce the file size. Now these are a great little point and shoot video camera. They've only got a small 2-inch screen on the back there. Oh, that looks a bit like the Matrix, doesn't it? But they're a pretty good little camera just for basic YouTube videos. Now if you actually shoot a high definition video in 1280 on these things, the quality is awesome. Now they also have a stereo set of microphones in the front here. The audio quality on these is pretty good. The video quality is sensational. They have an inbuilt, this one's an 8 gig, so they have an inbuilt 8 gig flash drive memory in them, which gives me exactly 2 hours of high definition footage shot in 720p. They have an inbuilt lithium ion rechargeable battery that lasts about, once again, 2 hours on a single charge. They only have a 3x digital zoom, and the zoom on them is not terribly good. When you zoom, it does tend to blur. They don't focus very well when they're zooming. So that's the good points. They also have a little DIC that plugs straight into your computer for easy download. The bad point about these cameras, I guess, is that you cannot remove the battery. So once the battery dies in these, you have to replace the whole camera. Now, having said that, this camera was given to me for my 50th birthday party by one of my technicians that works at my computer shop, and that was last November. So what are we in now? September. So I've been shooting pretty much all my YouTube videos on this camera for 10 months, and the battery is still fine. It's still strong, it's still solid, it still lasts for an hour and a half, 2 hours. So you will get, you'll get at least a couple of years out of these, particularly if you're not using them as often as I do. Now most of you guys know that I upload, a lot of videos. So this camera gets an absolute flogging. Something else that I'll tell you about this camera, you might notice it's pretty dinted and banged about. There's a dent there, scratched up here, scratched on the back. I have dropped this camera onto concrete 3 or 4 times, dropped it out of the car on the road, and it's never ever missed a beat. The other great thing about these cameras is that they're very, very slim. You can just pop them in your pocket, and great for just pulling out and just shooting a bit of video when you need to. Another one of the downsides of them though is that they don't have a video light, and they don't shoot still photos. So these are just pretty much a blogging camera, just for blogging. Now, I really like this as a brand, and I like it as a camera. Kodak also make one, I believe, called a Z28. And then of course you can buy a thing from Sony called a Bloggy. And they're all pretty much the same at the end of the day. But it is great that they just slip inside your pocket. Alright, slip inside your pocket. There you go. And very, very handy. And the quality's great. Alright guys, well, I hope that that's answered a few of your questions, gang. For all of you that are consistently asking me what sort of cameras do I use, and don't forget this little Audio Sonic, $59 at Kmart, or if you jump online and type in the model number, which I'll put up down here right now, up here, down here, you can buy them online very, very cheap. So there you go, guys. There's no need to go out and spend $600 or $700 or $800 on cameras for YouTube, and I probably haven't mentioned what these flip Minos are worth, but I think this one was a gift, but I think they're about $220, $230, and a great little camera for YouTube. Now, those of you that aren't making videos on YouTube, you now have no excuse. You can go out and buy a $59 video camera and start shooting videos. So go on, away you go, start uploading your videos, and don't forget, when you do, send me a link to your very first video so that I can come along and check it out. Alright guys, hope you've enjoyed that today. It's been a bit of a long one, but I really enjoyed shooting it. I've got a nice bourbon and coke here. Got a packet of cigarettes, which are the two fundamentals when you're making a YouTube video. You need tobacco and alcohol. Love yous. See you later, guys.